This video will talk about how to find percent composition by mass. So percent composition by mass means that I'm trying to find out how much of the mass of a substance is represented by a singular element within that substance. So we use the molar masses from the periodic table, and we assume that we're talking about 1 mole of the compound. That percent composition by mass will not vary by the amount that you have, but we use 1 mole because it just makes it much easier. So the general formula is I take the mass of the element in the compound, I divide it by the total mass of the 1 mole of the compound, and I multiply it by 100 to get percent composition. So the example that I have is, what is the percent composition by mass of each element in CO2? So the first thing that I do is in my first column, I write down the elements. Remember, each element has its own capital letter. There are 2 capital letters, so I have 2 elements, carbon and oxygen. Then in the second column, I put their molar masses. I have 12 grams for carbon and 16 grams for oxygen. Again, I'm using whole numbers. And then the subscripts from the formula. Remember, when there is no subscript, it means that there's one of them. So there's 1 mole of carbon and 2 moles of oxygen. Then I multiply these 2 columns together to get the total mass contribution. So 12 grams of the substance is going to be made up of oxygen. 32 grams will be made up of oxygen. 12 grams of carbon, 32 of oxygen. So 1 mole of carbon dioxide has a molar mass of 44. So if I were to ask what is the percent composition of each of the elements, you would place the contribution of carbon, 12 grams, over the total, 44, and multiply it by 100, and you get 27.3. Then you could either subtract 27.3 from 100 or do the same thing for oxygen. So oxygen, its contribution is 32 grams over 44 times 100, so that's 72.7%. So they should add up, sum up to 100% because they have to account for the total mass. And that's how you find percent composition by mass.